Hi, Diane here. Thank you so much for purchasing the Kurasa template for your opt-in funnel. So today I'm going to show you how you can edit the template. First things first, I'd like to show you how you can navigate the pages. From your left side, these are all the sections, and you'll see two tabs. One is the sections and one is the settings. I would advise you first, if you are new in Kajabi or just started building your pages in Kajabi, you may want to go first to your settings and go to site details and then scroll down where you can find your color palette. Go ahead and put in your hex codes so that when you customize your templates or your pages, and when you go to settings, style guide, you'll be able to change and select your colors using these palette colors. So without you putting on this colors here, when you access your page and go to your colors, it would show the default color. So it would be more efficient if you do this first. And then the second thing is that I'm going to go ahead and jump to the bottom section where you can find the form section. When you first install this page, this is how it would look like. So go ahead and click this little box here, and on your left, you'll be asked to select your form. So go ahead and create your form, and you can do that under marketing, forms, and then create a new one. So once you've created that and hit save, go back to your page editor, go back to the form section, and then from this drop down, you'll be able to select the form that you just created, like so. So that's the second one. And then the third one is going back to your settings tab, going to your style guide. Go ahead and fill in all the primary colors, your button colors. If you prefer a rounded button, you can do that. Your brand fonts and your font sizes here. And then next is the custom code. So this template does not have an extensive custom codes or CSS, but if you go to your custom CSS section and just scroll this a bit so you'll have a bigger view, you will see some codes here. Basically, what I have added here are the codes to make this effect when you hover, and the gold color of your button, because by default it has only one color. And then some of these are coded as well, which I'll discuss later on. And all the rounded corners. And so that's it. So from your CSS code block, you'll see here that this is the script font style. I can help you install your brand font if you need help. And this font here, I've purchased a license from Creative Market. And so I'm using this one. So this script font here, this one here, is using the H6 heading. Now, if you scroll down a bit, you'll see the button design. This one here, the gold gradient colors are all these hex codes. So if you have a different color, like not a gold, but a different shade of colors, then you can input all the colors here. But if you prefer a solid color, just simply delete all these codes here. And once you do that, whatever you have in the style guide here or this one, I'm going to hit save. That will follow whatever you put in here. If you put in a color here, but a specific section or but here, you want to have a different one, if you go to the button background and perhaps select a different color, you can do so. And so I'm going to go back to custom codes. And here's the color again. Now, the rest of the codes here are, say, if the font size here is using 20 pixels, if you want smaller or bigger, you can always change this. The padding is the thickness or the space around the text button. And then if you want to have a bolder font weight, you can do that as well. And another comment here is the letter spacing. You see, there are spaces. You can adjust that or totally remove it if you want to by removing the line code. So there you are. If you have changed any of the settings here, like the font size, the font weight, or if you change the padding or the letter spacing, make sure that when you scroll down to the button hover, you will also change that. Because as you can see, when I hover, it shows the original style. So if you change this to 600, remove this letter spacing, and adjust the font size, this will reflect when you hover your mouse. Now, when you hover, you see it's changing to like a purple shade. You can do that if you scroll down a bit and you can change this color or hex code. There's a note here that this is where you can change the hover background color. And this one is the actual color when you hover. Not totally white, but a shade of white here. This is change of the text color. Down here, you'll see now the form button. The form button here is this. Oops, let me select it and go back to custom codes. The form button here is the same. All these hex codes are the same as what we have in the button here. So it's different for just the button and for the form button. And if you want to change the color when you hover, just make sure you're changing it to here. And I'll discuss this later on once we reach that. So I'm just going to undo everything. All right. So now going back to the section panel, you'll see the sections here. This is the hero form. When you see letter D, it means that this section here is only visible for desktop. And if you see M, it means for mobile. That's a good thing about the Encore theme of Kajabi. You can make a section only visible for desktop or only visible for mobile. So if you don't see a D or an M, it means that when you made changes in a section like the intro text, like this one, it will also reflect on mobile. And then at the top, you'll see little icons here. Although this is not 100% accurate, I would advise you to always hit preview. Or if you want to preview it on your mobile, make sure you use your actual mobile because this may not be 100% accurate. So it depends on the screen resolution or how wide the user's phones are. Now to edit your hero section, this purchase also includes the Canva template, this, and there are different elements here like this one here and this little that one this oh that's the name and this like sparkle and those little stars that you see. Now to change that image, find a way to detach it from the frame. And when you detach it, it would look like this. So originally, so of course, this image was in horizontal orientation. But if I put that here, let me move this away for a minute. Okay, this is how it would look like because the frame that I have used is I've changed it to horizontal. So what you can do first is to move this like so and then drag. So if you have a new image, just make sure you rotate it and before you insert it to the frame. Other elements here like this one, if you want to have your own name, just simply change the text if you want or just simply remove it if you don't need it. And there are other elements that I've put in. Feel free to remove or adjust sizes. And if you don't feel the stars, you can also do that. So once you have that, take note that in the second section, I have used this color here. So you will definitely have a different shade of color. Make sure that when you change the image here, the color here, that will be the same color as this one. Because if I change this one to something else, like a shade of pink, save it, it will have like a division here. Like this is light pink and this is light beige. So if you prefer that, then that's okay. Otherwise, make sure it's the same. So this second section here is also using a background image with these little stars here. You also have access to this. And primarily what I did here was just, move those stars here and say, for example, this one. Let me show you. Oh, okay. Oh, this is blocking my way. So this is a different color. Um, you can do that. And this is the same color as this one. Probably not. But you get the idea that changing this and then moving some colors here. These little stars here, I got it from Canva. So if you have a different shade of stars or style, then you can definitely use that. And then, oh, let me undo that first. And from the text, you can easily do that if you don't have a script font. What you can do is because this one is in different line, you can just hit backspace or delete and change it to say H2. You can either change it from the left panel or you can change it here like H3, H1. It's up to you. And you can simply change the colors if you want to, the different one, either from the left panel or from the actual page editor. Something like that. And then over here, this I think would be more work to do. If I'm going to click this section over here, I have named the blocks so you can easily identify which block goes to which blocks here. So this is the image from the left, and this is the text in the left. And this is the image in the center for mobile, and some would be in desktop. So when you change an image, say you want to change this to something else, which takes time for if you're using Crescent and hit save, that would automatically be in circle. So that one can be done in border radius here if you don't want too much rounded corners. And then you can simply change this color and the text inside the text block. I'm going to discuss the mobile view later on. And then moving here, you can also hover and click. So the left panel will show you where you can edit the text. And then here, you can simply change the colors or the actual text. And you can select whether if you want to have a check mark or just a simple bullet or even a star. Down here is your about section. If I click this image block, you see this is in square. So you can adjust the border radius as you wish. So there's this image here that you can use. It has a frame. So when you upload your image, you can just drag it so it will be inside your frame. These elements here, you can definitely change it. And this sun here is not really inside that image, but you can just remove that, put that somewhere else, like so. And for all the backgrounds here, you can go back to your background image template and you'll find everything here. You can always change the elements to your liking or to something else, like so, and then just remove that. So there are other layers that you can play around. This one, you can also um play with it. There are elements like just one, some would be two, like I think this one has different layers. This is like an overlay color shape, and this is the actual image. And you can play with the stars and move that or move this. Oh, also one important key when you're creating a background image, make sure when you download it is in JPEG. You don't need to use a PNG because we're not using a transparent image. And then down here, you'll see the testimonials here. And when you go to background, you'll see that I have also adjusted the border radius. You can do that by simply sliding the numbers to make it not really rounded. And then here, going back from our first step, once you have added your form and you have also installed your thank you page after the form submission, make sure that when you go to your form section, click the thank you page drop down, click the landing page, and then select the landing page that you have created for the confirmation. And lastly, make sure that you also update your logo and your copyright and all your social media. I would advise you that when you first starting to use Kajabi, you always go to your settings, go to site details, and upload, fill in all this information, put in your logo and your favicon. So it doesn't show Kajabi's favicon here when you preview it. Now, let me go back to the settings and then custom code. This one here is just single CSS because by default a text cannot be over an image. So in order for us to do that, we just have to put in the line code so that this text will be over the image. And that's the only code that you have. So you've got the font, you've got the button, and you have this part here. Now, once you're fully satisfied with your desktop and you have all put in the copy, the images, it's time for us to edit the mobile. Let me undo all the things that I did. I can update that. So in mobile here, you will see going back to the section is the hero form. The hero form is only this part here. So whatever changes I make on the desktop, say I'm gonna put in a word here, and I go to mobile, it will not reflect because this desktop version, this version, if I go to mobile layout, it's currently hidden. And if I go to mobile view and say hit one of the blocks, this is a hero form, and I go to mobile, sorry, the desktop, it's currently hidden. So the way the hero section is created, it's not, the image is no longer a background image because when you preview this, it would Kajabi will cut off the sides, the top and the bottom, and will just focus here. It's up to you. You can try it out if you want to use a background image for this same image. And you just go back to background and then upload your image here. But for me, this kind of layout, it's best to have an image here instead here and then the text here. That's how I will have more control on how I would like to display the images and the text. Best practice is you always finish first the desktop before optimizing the mobile. So let's see. For the intro text, remember this one does not have D and M. If I make a change here, let's say, let's put in a new word. And if I go to mobile, that would automatically reflect on mobile too. For the benefit and values, just make sure you, if you make changes here and it doesn't reflect here, you can just re-upload your image. So this one is only visible for mobile. If say I make a change here, say this one. So this is the image center in desktop view. Once this image has been updated and we go to mobile, so let's wait until this one is changed. If I go to mobile, this is not changed. So make sure you also change that. But this one, say I'm gonna put in number one, and then this is number two, and this is number three. So if I go to mobile, this one is not updated. Just make sure you copy whatever you have here to reflect on mobile. So text number two, it will be the same and will be the same for number three or the third block. Now, if I go to this section, everything that you change from the desktop view will reflect on mobile. That's why it's also best that from the settings style guide, you have already updated your sizes here. Because in desktop, this is using 64 pixels, and in mobile, it doesn't look good if you have a big font here. So you make sure it's smaller, like from 64 to 48. So it's up to you. It also depends on the font style. And that's it. So let me know what challenges you may have while using the template. I have left my email and my website link from the instructions PDF file. You can reach out to me if you have any questions or if you're struggling. I'll be happy to assist you. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you'll enjoy editing with Tim. Bye bye.